care for Remy Ma, but I tell you like this, I don't knock their hustle, and I'm not a hater, and I will tell you this, them chicks can dress their ass off. I love fashion, so I love the way they dress. Remy Ma, she be decked out. Nicki Minaj be decked out. Cardi B, she be looking a little crazy sometimes, but she still say fly. Megan Thee Stallion fly, but I don't listen to their music. Okay. But there's some fly chicks.
All right, so on to the next subject on the Gentleman's Talk podcast. How do you feel about the crack epidemic when it started in the 80s to now? The crack epidemic when it started from the 80s to now. How do you feel that affected the people that's in society? Do you feel that people in society can maintain being functional addicts? Or do you feel that most of the people are lost or they're orbiting with no purpose from using crack cocaine and any drug that's worse than crack cocaine?
Let me tell you something. I just feel like this. It's on you. It's on your system. It's on you if you fall weak to it. I'm not going to mention no names. People probably already know, if y'all know me, who I'm talking about, if you know who I am. And I ain't got to say no names, and I ain't got to pull her out there. I had one friend who was a crack addict. She turned her life around, gave herself to God, opened up her own practice, got her associates, masters, and bachelors, working on her doctorates. Then she went through a little tough time. Yes, and I love her to death, and I'm still rooting for her. And I got her logged in my phone. Well, she used to be logged in my phone when her phone was on as professor, because she's the only one out my clique that taught at a college. I don't care, so I gave her that name. She earned that title, Professor such and such. Anyways, she back on that shit.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
But because she lived through people and she went through a real bad relationship breakup in a marriage, so it brought her down to that level to where she how do you say it? When she rescinded back to it, she remissioned back to it. Regressed. She regressed back to it.
She relapsed.
She relapsed, yes.
That's the word she's looking for.
So she relapsed, and I feel like I'm still rooting for her because she can come back if she wants to. So the epidemic is on you. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I don't care what nobody say. I don't care about my past. Look at me now. Y'all could be like, oh, she was. Yes, my drug of choice back then was never crack cocaine. It was weed and dust. And let me tell you something. I pray and rebuke that spirit off anybody. That dust is robbing us blind. I will never, ever, ever, ever go back in my life to that life because that's not what I want. I could be around it, see it, whatever, and don't even get the feeling, the urge or nothing because that's not a part of me no more, but that's my past. My past is what make the best of me. And I don't have no shame in my game to say it. So if you see me and be like, oh, she was, I'm so happy that you said W-A-S. Because there is a difference between was and now.
Facts. So we're going to tap into the next question on the Gentleman's Talk. And the gentleman want to tap into the next question on the Gentleman's Talk podcast. Have you ever met anybody famous?
Yes.
Give me like 5.
I met Method Man. I met Red Man. I met Biggie Smalls, Mobb Deep. We was chilling with Mobb Deep. Had him in my car and everything. My girl still got the pictures. I don't have the pictures no more. But she still got the pictures. I'm going to tell her to post them on Facebook. We was chilling with Havoc, all of them. And how we stopped chilling? Because we was riding. Havoc was in the back seat with my girl. And I was in the front seat. My girl, Nick Nice. Everybody know Nick Nice was driving. No lie. Real true story with the Providence. To see these dudes in the 90s, yo. Went to that show to see Biggie and everybody. They rocked it. The whole Junior Mafia. Everybody came. Man, we chilling. Next thing you know, Havoc had a green Camry. I'll never forget it. He had a green Camry back then. And his Camry broke down. And we went into McDonald's because we had to stop. You know how you going to New York? They wanted us to chill with them and roll with them to New York. So we did. Anyways, his car broke down. We all got out. And then my friend Nikki's sister came in here and said, Nikki, nice. She was like, Mobb Deep out there trying to switch batteries, trying to take the battery out your rental car and put it in their car. So she was like, wait a minute, hold up, what? So we went out there like, yo, what's going on? And you see what's going on. So Havoc and them, like Havoc and the twins, Big Noy and the two twins, I forgot their names, but they was from Mobb Deep. And they was like, yo, chill. We just trying to switch batteries because Havoc Camry broke down while we was following y'all. And we just trying to switch batteries. She was like, switch batteries what? So my girl, oh, that's how the whole party ended. My girl was crazy. She picked up some stick and was like, I don't give a fuck who y'all are, but I tell you right now, y'all put my shit back in my car. By the time I get to 3, all y'all about to get flies. So she went off on them. They put the battery back in her car. They took Havoc Camry out her renter, put it back in his car. His car still wouldn't start. Whatever. And it was like, oh, whatever. So I forgot what else happened at the end, but we ended up leaving and they ended up being stuck at the gas station. So that was the end of that tune. But here's the good thing. Havoc like my friend, so she did have his home number. Every day they was talking on the phone and they was trying to get us to come back down there to go to a pool party in New York. We ain't never end up going back down there. I don't know, we should have, but we didn't follow through to go to the pool party at the time. Money wasn't funny back then either because we used to hustle, but we just didn't want to do it because I think my girl was feeling some type that they tried to take that battery and we was talking about it.
That's crazy.
And half them niggas that was at the show that night, all of them ain't even had their own room. One of the dudes ended up staying in one of our rooms because he ain't had nowhere to sleep. We like, well, how you part of Mobb Deep? You ain't got nowhere to sleep. And then my friend started clowning him, was like, well, look at your socks. Like, yo.
She said, look at the what?
Socks. Kick 'em. That's his name, Kick 'em. If y'all listen to that old album,
she said, look at his socks.
Yes, if y'all listen to that old album, Survival of the Fittest, when he was talking, yo, what up, Kiko? I ain't seen your ass in years. That was Kiko. That was they boy Kiko. Kiko ain't had no room.
Okay.
So he stayed in our room, and he had on some best of socks, some crazy looking outfits. So my girls was just gunning him, and I was like, "Yo, y'all crazy." And then my brother came and broke everything up because his girlfriend, who he was going with at the time, came down here. He was acting crazy. He came, opened the door, and she was like, "Oh, I'm just chilling, Mobb Deep." He said, "I don't give a fuck, give a fuck about these niggas." Them niggas like chill. He said, "Yo." My brother jumped in the
swear, it's the Gentleman's Talk podcast. You can swear.
He was
Be
like,
yourself.
He was like, my brother was like, I don't give a fuck about none of no Mobb Deep shit. I came here to get my motherfucking girl. And he looked at her and said, let's go. So they left and niggas was like, yo, what's wrong with your brother? Like, what's wrong? Like, he jumped all up in our faces. I said, I can't control that. I said, that's what he do.
Yo, you know how the vibe goes with that.
But they ain't want it. But them niggas was cool as shit, though. They was, but...
Okay, on to the next topic on the Gentleman's Talk podcast. We appreciate that story. We're going to keep it pushing. Life questions. Is your level of success in life? Pause. How many people make good decisions to better their life that you know?
Me and my whole clique.
Okay.
We don't play around no more. We don't do none of that bullshit. My girl... Shouts out to a Nick Nice, moved down south, making big moves. She's doing good as hell. Got her car, got her apartment, her mother, my mother, from, her mother is my mother.
Okay.
Miss Minister Nelson, God bless you. Big up to her. Blessed everybody. You know what I mean? All my peoples, all the people that I hung around, we all doing good except for that one right now. But I pray for her and I know God got her and he gonna bring her back. And when he bring her back, she gonna bring her back stronger than ever because everybody laughing at her. But guess what? He who laughs always laughs best. And I'll laugh at my chick and I know she gonna come back laughing harder and harder back on top. And this time she gonna stay on top. And I'm gonna make sure I stay on top of her ass and stay on top.
Wonderful inspirational words coming from Holly.
Cause I'm not a hater and I don't wish that on nobody. And everybody when she was doing good always was like, oh, always try to have something to say, oh, yeah, she was, whatever, but what if she relapsed? Always wanted that, and now she did that. So guess what? I keep it real, and I don't tell nobody that she's like that, because I love her, and I'm not fake like that, and I don't laugh at her. When she had her own practice, I supported her and went to her practice and was getting my therapy. My girl had her own therapy practice, and I was going there. She wasn't my therapist, but she assigned me to somebody that was my therapist, and that was my girl. And I'm not even going to say the name of her company, but my girl had her own company.
All right, so on to the next topic on the Gentleman's Talk podcast. Like I said, all you got to do is pull up the number 3, hit good, hit brothers with an S. You'll see Allen Productions. We appreciate all support, even the ones that don't like it, and even the ones that hate. I love telling people stories. I like to show people a different narrative because they have a narrative that in the minority neighborhoods that people are not, really doing anything positive, or they want to just talk about the negative. And I feel my job as being who I am is to tell everybody's story. Everybody's story matters in my life, even the ones that sometimes being those individuals buzz heads, because at the end of the day, we all supposed to be moving as one, and things happen, but we're still all family in our own different ways. So on to the next question on the Gentleman's Talk podcast, hosted all over Connecticut, and anywhere that I can get to host my interviews, because I want to know everybody and everybody counts. How you feel about 211 helping the homeless? Do you feel like 211 helps all the homeless people in the state of Connecticut?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure, but somebody was homeless in my building, and I did call him, and they did come snatch him up to help him, but I don't think he wanted to help, and he ended up back in my building.
I know you're talking about.
But I knew it wasn't going to last, because my husband used to be like, yo, he back. I used to be like, it ain't going to last, because once somebody move in my next door, he can't just sleep in front of the door no more. The lady got tired of him, and she went back to move to Puerto Rico. If that's the real story, she could have just told him that and just moved to get her peace of mind back. Because she was old, she had heart problems, surgeries and stuff. And he used to be smoking crack out her door, all types of stuff, things that she didn't like. So 211 is real. Because when I called the police to tell them that, he keeps sleeping in front of my door, the police called CRT 211 and they came to get him. To get him some help.
Shout out to one of those positive stories, because a lot of people don't understand 211 does help.
Yep.
You just gotta reach out. Always reach out to your resources.
Yep.
So on to the next question.
And you gotta want the help.
How do you feel about young kids taking their lives in this generation and generations that you saw?
Let me tell you something about that. Suicide is real. It's been plenty of times that I done thought about suicide because of what I was going through. So I don't condone it, but I understand. Some people are not hearing people cries. So you gotta be, listen, if you're not 100% real, it's cool. But somebody that really might need you, need a listening ear, you just gotta be there and just try to give them some encouragement. Try to help them in every way which possible, because just brushing a person off and not caring, or just caring about yourself, because everybody off of self now, they're not getting the attention that they're looking for. No one's hearing their cry, so they kill themselves. Suicide is so real. And here's another thing. Some people are afraid to get old, so they kill themselves. I'm getting older, and the older and older I get, I'll be like, yo, this shit is real, because I work in a nursing home. So when I'm seeing these elderly people and seeing how they being treated, I think of me, because I'm getting older, and I'm like, yo, shit is real. So that's why you gotta be nice to people, you gotta be kind to people. You can't treat people like crap. Yo, I don't care what you think about a person. My grandmother used to always say, be careful how you treat people, because you never know how they're gonna turn out. You never know if you're gonna need them. Be easy with people. Be easy with people, because
it's a rough world.
It's a rough world, and a lot of kids is taking their own lives because either they're being bullied, talked about, laughed at, people are not understood.
Who you telling?
If y'all ever watched that movie, The Joker, and I'm quite sure y'all have, it's a message in that movie. The Joker, that movie wasn't, and they making a part 2 to that. A lot of people don't know they're not making. I keep up on it. They're making a part 2 to the Joker. The Joker wasn't nothing to play with.
Talk about it.
When that man had that laughing disease, and people didn't understand him, they laughed at him, they talked about him, did all types of stuff, and you see how he went ballistic in that movie and was killing people? See how he, in his imagination that he killed Robert De Niro, the talk show host? See how the people killed that old lady and snatched that lady bees up? See how that man that gave him the gun to make him get in trouble? You see how he beat that man bloody to a pulp, killed him? And wait a minute, who did he leave alive? That midget. And what did he tell the midget, if y'all watched that movie? Artie, he screamed at him and said, I'm going to let you go. He said, and the only reason why I'm going to let you go He said, because you always treated me nice. You always looked out for me. You always treated me as a person. You always treated me good. So I'm letting you walk out that door. Artie was scared as hell, the midget, but he walked out that door.
Alright, so continuing on the Gentleman's Talk podcast, how do you feel about, you know Alpo and you know Rich Porter? How do you feel about Alpo killing Rich Porter and dumping his body when the uncle also kidnapped the nephew to try to extort Rich Porter, saying Rich Porter put Alpo on in Harlem or in the borough of New York, even though Alpo had his own people in Washington D.C. and